Hello, viewers. Masquera say. Welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network, where we are committed to give you the latest news, what is really happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. And we want to talk about the fresh plots to arrest the CCC leadership, Nelson Chamisa included. So there are people we cannot ignore, and these are very important people within ZANU PF cycles because they have a lot of information which they are abusing, and they are trying to use that information to make sure that they blackmail the leadership of Nelson Chamisa. So what happened is that the people like Gabriel Chaibva, they were once human rights lawyers on behalf of MDC during the Morgan Tsvangirai era. And Gabriel Chaibva was operating from South Africa. So if you go fast forward to 2017, you can actually see that Gabriel Chaibva played a very critical role in sanitizing the coup itself in the SADC region or on the international community. As a respected human rights advocate, he was on the forefront to make sure that he sanitized the Emmerson Mnangagwa coup. So, fast forward to 2022, he is on the forefront of playing gimmicks and coming up with fake exposes, saying that I got this information, I got that information. So the latest information he is trying to portray or to give is that Advocate Nelson Chamisa is planning a military invasion, which is wrong, which is false, and it is naive. So you can actually see that Gabriel Chaibva, Professor Jonathan Moyo, this is the same crew which is operating to spread propaganda, to spread the hate speech, to spread the false information on CCC. Their agenda is to make sure that people lose hope in Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Their agenda is to make sure that the leadership gets arrested. So you can actually see that they will come with this information. Then something will happen and they will say, we said it. So these are the people who are leading the choreography of everything which is planned against Nelson Chamisa and the leadership. So I'm going to go through the recent tweet. In the description box, I have put the whole thread in the description box so that you can, at a later stage, you can go and read for yourself and understand what Gabriel Chaibva is saying. So you can actually see that he is saying that CCC is trying to silence him. And the question is, why is it that they need to silence him? What importance is of Gabriel Chaibva at this moment? Because he is a sellout. He has proved to be a sellout. He is somebody who we cannot trust, who we cannot put our hope on. So whatever they are doing, it is a choreographed issue where they are taking notes from elsewhere. So they are saying that CCC, through Crisis Coalition of Zimbabwe, through Peter Mtasa and the US Embassy, they are saying that these people are training a militia elsewhere in Zambia or elsewhere in the SADC region. We have seen a lot of accusations to say Nelson Chamisa is training a militia. And since 2018, we have not seen a photo, a single photo of those militias. We have not seen a single evidence of that militia which is being trained. So you can actually see that these are people who are trying to divert the attention of the people, to make people believe that indeed Advocate Nelson Chamisa wants to use arms, when Advocate Nelson Chamisa is clear on his position, that he wants to take power constitutionally. He don't want to create an unconstitutional event for him to be in power, because that will later haunt him. This is the reason why he is tried by all means to remain calm and to follow due procedure and to follow the law. The Chaibvas, these are the people who have been pushing Nelson Chamisa soon after 2018 to say, Tora Zombo. And they even tried to use Tinashe Jonasi. I once came and said that there is a moment where Tinashe Jonasi went live on camera and he began saying we need a revolution in Zimbabwe. And he started to say we are mobilizing for a revolution. Those were just first powder gimmicks which Tinashe Jonasi was doing. And he was doing it for the regime. He was doing it for ZANU PF. This is the reason why you have seen that Tinashe Jonasi, when he came back to Zimbabwe this time around, he was not arrested. Even after saying those things, if we are to follow the law, what Tinashe Jonasi was saying and was doing was treasonous. And the question is, why is Tinashe Jonasi not arrested at this moment? Why is he walking scot-free? It is because Tinashe Jonasi is one of them. Tinashe Jonasi anobva kwaShindi, tikasvika pangundo apa toenda kwaShindi uko. I know Tinashe Jonasi. I know kumba kwana Tinashe Jonasi. Tinashe Jonasi is a well-known CIO. Tinashe Jonasi. I'm telling you this, ndinomuziva. Takakura tichimuziva isusu Tinashe Jonasi. Taenda kwana sekuru wangu kwaShindi uko. So you can actually see that those are the people who are now working closely. Gabriel Chaibva. And when they create a narrative, they are trying to lure other opposition activists to join them. And when you join them, they sell you out. You join them, they sell you out. You join them, they take information from you and they sell you out. So you can actually see that this is the reason why the opposition leaders must make sure that they don't hold meetings in any hotels and in any lodges. Because these guys will meet with them and they will introduce such topics. The guys of such a caliber, they will introduce such topics of let's take arms. And they will trap you. So they've tried so many times to trap Advocate Nelson Chamisa. He has refused to be trapped. He has been very, very smart. And he has tried by all means to remain calm, vigilant, and he is applying wisdom each and every time. So I'm going to quickly go through the points. Are the CCC militia has its headquarters in some neighboring countries where they are currently doing some military drills under instructions from officers from hostile global power. They've already recruited targeting 7,000 bandits with all the modern equipment and small arms in place. That is the accusation from Gabriel Chaibva. He went on to say the paramilitary wing, a similar concept to the United MDC's Democratic Resistance Committees, DRCs, in the early and mid-2000s, is expected to execute the party's objective using militancy to subvert the government and violently grab power. So the question is, if these were there, as you are mentioning the DRCs, why is it that in 2008, Morgan Tsvangirai failed to use that militia? That is the question we need to ask. Gabriel Chaibva has been lying since day one and pretending to have internal information. And the question is, why is it that in 2008, Morgan Tsvangirai didn't use that militia, and one, to defend his supporters, two, to take power violently? He had won the election and he was being denied that chance. So there was whatever justification was there for him to use whatever means to make sure that he defends himself. Why is it that he didn't use that? It means they were not there. That militia was not there. Fast forward to 2018, accusations were that Nelson Chamisa does have a militia. They were saying, other people were saying, what happened next? We have never seen that militia. People are being killed, people are being maimed, people are being abducted and beaten. We have never seen that militia retaliated. So that is just a sign, a clear sign and evidence that these are cooked up stories to try and derail the struggle, to try and defocus people. Because when we begin to say Chamisa is planning something, he's planning a military, we will relax and say, so if he is planning to be armed, there is no need for us to vote. That is what they are trying to instill in the people. And above that, they want to create the basis of arresting Nelson Chamisa. They want to create the basis of arresting the CCC leadership. So it will not surprise to see them planting bandits. It will not surprise us if we see them planting bandits in a pretense to say it is Nelson Chamisa. It is possible. Anything is possible at this juncture. At this point, anything is possible. So Nelson Chamisa was recently in South Africa, and they are using that trip to South Africa to say when he was in South Africa, he met Norwegian embassy officials, the United States embassy, and the European Union, and they are saying that he was promised financial aid to sabotage Zimbabwe. But the question is, who is sabotaging Zimbabwe? Because who was caught with gold at Araji International Airport? Who was caught with 14 kgs gold at OR Tambo International Airport? They are ZANU PF surrogates. So who is sabotaging Zimbabwe? There is a ZANU PF gold buyer who made the 450 plus million US dollars last year alone from just buying and selling gold. He made up to 450 million. He's close to become a billionaire. A ZANU PF surrogate. So if that money, if gold was being sold directly to Fidelity, that 450 million would have gone in the coffers of the state, would have gone in the coffers of the nation of Zimbabwe, and would have gone to the development of the nation of Zimbabwe. So the question is, who is benefiting? Who is making Zimbabwe not to work? That is the question. If one person made the 450 million in profit from just gold buying and selling, what about others who are involved? Because this is not the only person. There are many who are involved in gold buying and selling. So the question is, if Nelson Chamisa is sabotaging the economy, what about those who are buying gold and selling it and smuggling it? What about them? What do you say about them? That is the question, and they don't have answers to this day. It's because they know very well that they are the ones who are sabotaging the economy of Zimbabwe. They know very well that they are the ones who are working against the people of Zimbabwe. So welcome, Memory Ngube, welcome, Thomas Chawira, welcome. You can put through your comments, you can put through your questions through the comment section. So now, let's go on to another aspect. So they are saying that they went on to call names, and they are saying the group will be under the command of Mr. Job Sikhala, Tatenda Mumbiarara, and Makombora Ruzish. Some of the trained bandits are already in airport Chitungu and Budiriro. They are receiving real-time intelligence from the usual Western handlers and sponsors. And who are they? So you have just named the leadership. These are just the leaders you have mentioned. I doubt even if they have any military training they've ever received. I doubt. I doubt that Job Sikhala knows how to use a gun. I doubt it. So who are the people who are going around in the streets holding guns? ZANU PF Ward 7 councillor candidate who was defeated by Love Momaiko was seen, and the pictures are there in the public domain, holding a gun. ZANU PF, there is a group again of ZANU PF militia which was recorded holding guns and shooting in the air. Several ZANU PF people are being taken pictures holding guns, some in the cars. And the question is, if you are to take those ZANU PF known ZANU PF militias who are known, and we've taken photos holding guns, and you take Job Sikhala, who are you going to point and say this person is a militia? Take Makombora Ruzivishe and take those ZANU PF thugs. Who are you going to say this is a militia? So you can actually see that there is no basis whatsoever in these accusations. It is just a way of trying to pin crimes on innocent people, to try and show you the names of innocent leaders who are just trying to make sure that Zimbabwe gets free, Zimbabwe gets independent, and Zimbabwe becomes equal for all. That is their crime. So let's get on another very interesting issue here. They are saying that the next general strike and chaos, the violence that we saw in Chitungwiza at Mobilizing Ali's funeral is playing out according to the script of the CCC. But if we are look to that violence, it is ZANU PF who started that violence. The ZANU PF MP was there, the ZANU PF councillor was there. They started that chaos. They are not fingered, they are not mentioned. And you only speak when people retaliate. Houses were burned, CCC supporters' houses were burned. The same people who had their houses burned, they were arrested and they are in court, they are in prison as we speak. They are going before the court as we speak, but they are the victims of violence. And these are the same people you are saying that they want to cause instability. They are militias. If they were militias, go to Nigeria and see what Boko Haram is doing. Go to Mozambique and see what that armed group is doing. That is when you realize how militias work. Go to DRC and see how militias are working there. They don't play with people. They shoot, they kill. They don't negotiate. What we are seeing in Zimbabwe, we have not seen any kind of militia from the opposition. We have not seen any. So personally, I believe that this is just a direct move to attack Advocate Nelson Chamisa and the DRCs leadership by Gabriel Chaibva. And Gabriel Chaibva must shut his mouth up. He doesn't have anything to talk about the nation of Zimbabwe. He doesn't have anything to contribute to the economy of Zimbabwe and to the people of Zimbabwe. He must shut up his mouth. So you cannot attribute the strike of nurses and doctors to anything or to any political party. You cannot pin it to any political party. Reasons being, these are people who want free, fair labor laws in the nation of Zimbabwe. They want genuine remuneration in the nation of Zimbabwe. You cannot give a doctor $250 and expect that doctor to report to work every day. You cannot give a nurse less than $200 and expect that nurse to report to work every day. Who does that? When a doctor is called for an emergency and is living in Norwegian or Chitungwiza and working at Parenyatwa, how is that doctor going to travel or to rush for that emergency to Parenyatwa or from Chitungwiza or from Norwegian? That is the question. Which means doctors, they must be mobile, they must have their own cars, they must have money in their pockets to buy fuel so that they attend to those emergencies in time. And what are they getting? They are getting peanuts. So you cannot talk about having militias when our doctors and nurses are not being paid. If Advocate Nelson Chamisa wanted anarchy in the nation of Zimbabwe, we would have seen anarchy. We have not seen anything. Anything in Zimbabwe, even in 2019, we saw nothing. Those were just agitated youth we saw. Unarmed agitated youth. So go to DRC, go to Ethiopia, go to Somalia, go to Mozambique, go to other countries where there is chaos and anarchy, and you realize what real anarchy is. So these Chaibvas, they need to be silenced for real, because we need to swarm Twitter and make sure that we expose them. The only thing we can do is to make sure that we go on those platforms where they go and make sure that and defend the revolution. That is the only way we can win this battle, because they are now doing disinformation and misinformation. Let's go and correct the narrative. Let's make sure that we go there in our numbers on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever they are, or the platforms they are on, digital platforms, and let's go and defend the CCC and our leaders. Because the plan is just to soil the leaders and put them in prison. We have seen Job Sikhala being in prison. We have seen the Honorable Stole being in prison. Okay, if Job Sikhala does have pending cases, what about Honorable Sitole, who doesn't have pending cases? Why are you pinning Honorable Sitole on Honorable Sikhala's issues? Why are you connecting them? These are different people, and the facts surrounding them should be different, because they have different characters and they're different people. So You can actually see that this is the problem. And they went on to say, ATUS, ZCTU, Crisis in Zimbabwe Coalition, Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights, they are trying to mention these organizations so as to find the basis to ban these organizations. Especially the main targeted entity is Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights and the Zimbabwe Doctors for Human Rights. These are the main targeted entities. Why? They defend the people if they are arrested, the political activists, if they are arrested, they get defended in court. If people are beaten up and abused, the Zimbabwe Doctors for Human Rights chip in to give the medical care. This is the reason why these two organizations are critically targeted and they want to ban them. When you hear them saying my NGOs, this and that, the main targets are Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights and the Zimbabwe Doctors for Human Rights, but they cannot just shut them from nowhere. They want to find the basis to bar or to ban the NGOs, and they will say these are also NGOs, let's ban them. That is their agenda, and that is their motive. What will they benefit? They know very well that people won't be represented in court. They know. So this is just a direct attack on the people. And finally, he said that this is a matter of national security, something that cannot be ignored. The Zimbabwean State Security Department should immediately arrest, detain, and interrogate Peter Mtasa, Rashid Mahia, Aruzivishe, Sikhala, Mumbiarara, Masaraure, Robson Chere, and Nelson Chamisa. You have seen these people who have been named here. There is no evidence whatsoever that they want to do anything to cause instability in Zimbabwe. There is no evidence whatsoever. What they are after is to make sure that in Zimbabwe we get stability. In Zimbabwe we get a functional economy. What they are after is a corrupt, free Zimbabwe, a Zimbabwe where we have equal opportunities and everybody is respected and everybody is recognized by the laws. That is what they are after. So I don't know the motive, but I believe that Gabriel Chaibva has been selling out since day one. He has been he has been in South Africa just as a decoy to derail the struggle. And there are so many comrades who are out there working under ZANU PF or working for ZANU PF. This is the reason why I say, if you check the people who are in agreement with people like Jonathan Moy, and the people who are saying statements which are against the leader, you can actually see who is working with CCC and who is working with ZANU PF. There are people who are there just to create stories. And after those stories are created, the blame is pinned on the leadership to say leadership. So Team Zimbabwe, we need to remain vigilant. We need to know what we say. We need to know when to say. We need to know how we say it. There is no need for us to talk too much. There is need for us to remain focused. What is important at this juncture is to register to vote. What is important at this juncture is to make sure that every family member is registered to vote. Munhu wese bereka mwana akaregister kuvota. So that at the end of the day, we go to our polling stations and vote for change. We go and change the status quo in Zimbabwe. There is no way, if we get 6 million votes, we are going to be defeated. Because ZANU PF has failed to mobilize for its cell structures. They failed to mobilize people who they purport that they're in their structures, that is 3.6 million people. They failed to mobilize them. So verifications that they failed in. They know very well that it is going to be very difficult for them to reach even 2 million votes at this juncture, because people are tired, people are angry. It is going to be very, very difficult for them to get 2 million votes. So Nelson Chamisa already has an upper hand in this election. And only what we need to do is to make sure that we focus on what is important. That is voter registration. That is voter mobilization. Iwewe nemhuri yako, just do your part. Iwewe nehama dzako, just do your part. So I'm going to take a few comments here before we get to the end of this broadcast. Okay. Memory Ngube, thank you very much for tuning in. Thomas Chawira, thank you very much. Namos Ganzen, that cheap politics does not work in today's politics. Chaibva is seeking relevance. If we allow Pomona deals and another tender deals, we are our own enemies, not opposition. Kana oh. Okay, thank you very much for Ronald Magushu. And Chamisa is laying the planning of militia ZANU. What to Chamisa and everyone who follows him. ZANU can kill everyone in Zimbabwe. Imagine Bukura one over 2,000 people we killed and nothing happened. So on this issue, there is an issue of poisoning leaders. It is very difficult for you to poison leaders when they are alert. When they don't take food anyway, it is going to be very difficult. So at a certain point, you need to arrest them and control what they consume. So it means if you are arrested, you need to go on fasting, massive fasting. And you need to know who brings you food. You must know who brings you food. And that person must be somebody who is very, 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 very trusted. Very, very trusted. You cannot just take food from anywhere. And I hope Honorable Job Sikhala and Tole are doing that. Zimbabwe Prophecy is a big sellout from day one in the NDC. Yes, it's true. Initially, I was shocked to see that book, 2 weeks in November. I was shocked to see how he played everything. You cannot just plan things just like that from Norway. They were in this for a very long time. They were in this to make sure that they derailed the struggle for a very long time. This is the reason why they've now resorted to fighting Nelson Chamisa, because he said no structures, meaning to say nobody is speaking on behalf of CCC except for the leaders who are known. Nobody is communicating anything on behalf of CCC except for the leaders who are known. Anyway, if you go to any embassy, to any organization or any country or any forum, nobody is speaking on behalf of CCC except for Nelson Chamisa and his leadership. The top brass which is known. And that has angered a lot of people because they were used to send their puppets and their boys to represent opposition, where they were going to send different and false narratives. And that was destroying the opposition. That was killing the trust in the opposition. But this time around, Nelson Chamisa is playing the cards close to his chest. Nobody knows what is next. And that is the reason why they are trying all shenanigans. They are trying now to arrest him so that they know what is being planned and so that they know his next move. But we remain resolute, we remain vigilant, we remain focused. And our main focus is not on anything else. Our focus is voter registration, because if we go to the election without numbers, we will not win that election. We need 6 million votes. And for us to achieve 6 million votes, every person must be registered to vote. Every person must go to vote. We need voter turnout which is above 90%. If we get 90% voter turnout, I tell you, there won't be ZANU PF to talk about. Vanhu vanotiza results asati apedza kuanaunzwa, vanenge varova pasi vese. Pedzisire munogona kutoti nema-MP acho anenge asarudzwa kuZANU anotizawo. This is going to be a very interesting moment next year. So in Zimbabwe, this is what is happening. They are planning to arrest CCC leadership, including advocate Nelson Chamisa. If you go into the description box, I have put that tweet, that thread from Gabriel Chaibva, and we will continue to come and expose such charlatans like Gabriel Chaibva, because that is our role, that is our responsibility. We don't have anything to arm ourselves except the power of information. Information is key. There is power in information. There is power in people knowing what is happening. When we talk about knowledge, we are talking about information disseminated from one point to another point. And that information is very important. And we are going to continue. As long as we are alive, we are going to continue. Ariel Marufan's civil war imminent. I don't know which civil war. Maybe kana zvabayana kuzanu ikoko. Hatikuziva zvamuri kuronga kuzanu kwenyu na Ariel. If you are planning something, you can do it. kuzani ikoko isati kuya kuhonda tisikuya zosira mahara isusu chatiri kuda ichange iri genuine kwete change yeshortcut hatisi kuzoita shortcut change. No matter how you try to provoke us, no matter how you try to lure us, we are not going to be short-changed this time around. Hatisi kuzoteera maplans enyu. No war, hakuna ropa rufana kudeuka muZimbabwe. Every blood is very important. Every life is very important. We know that next year we are winning elections. We know that we have been given an opportunity to change the status quo in Zimbabwe. So why should we go to war when we know very well that we have the safest route to change things in the nation of Zimbabwe? Let's register to vote and see what is going to happen. All we are going to do, and that one, we are not going to lie. We are going to protect our vote. Tichingovhota tiri kurapa polling station, tichingovhota tiri kurapa polling station, which means tiri kurova night videos at each and every polling station up until victory yawanika mumwe nemumwe anenge ari papolling station pake. So victory is guaranteed already. So zvenyu zvamuri kutaura zvokuti hanzi chichi kana change yakaitika kuMalawi, change yakaitika kuZambia, what more about Zimbabwe? Change is coming. Even in South Africa, they no longer believe in what is in this regime we have here. So nobody believes in this regime anymore. So go to Mozambique, they don't even believe in this president. Go to Tanzania, they don't believe in this president. It's just that sometimes you try to keep those relations, the citizen studies, and diplomacy whatsoever, but they no longer want Zimbabwe because it is a liability. How Zimbabwe is operating is a liability to a lot of other countries and its neighbors. So they all want change because change in Zimbabwe is going to assist or to benefit the entire country. So I don't want to go further than this. I want to end it here. I'm going to take this last comment from Roland Mabuchi. As long as CCC wants to avoid fighting ZANU, Acharamba Aripo, our witness, Chirimagwara, I don't believe that. I do not believe that. You know what? Sometimes there are things which happen because God is there. When God is on your side, you don't need to fight because there are fights which are fought by God. Other fights are fought by God. Other fights are fought by God. You don't have to destabilize Zimbabwe. You don't have to lose the peace we have in Zimbabwe. Because once we begin war in Zimbabwe, we have given them an opportunity to form militias. We've given them an opportunity. So there is no need for us to provoke them. And let's continue fighting. Nana Jonathan Moyo, nanani. They are just there, but I don't believe that they are going to win this war. So let's meet again in other episodes because we have a lot of work to do. It's just that sometimes it's very busy, sometimes it's about and so forth. But I hope and believe that we are going to get more time. So we have an issue here, Pomona. I think it is just Pomona so soon. I have another young person to host here. I will bring a lot of young people on this platform because it is very important to do so. Okay, my comments are and okay, Perfect Shumba, keep it up, my brother. You are doing a wonderful job. Thank you very much, Perfect Shumba. Nyamziwa zvanziregai vaurayane vega. Yes, vanofana kuponda naikokoko. Okay, and the cuties and no one doesn't want a long for this change. We are just tired of going backwards while other nations are moving forward. Yes. You know, the importance of a leader, you have to understand the importance of a leader. The reason why we have leaders is for them to be on the forefront. And God gives the leader the wisdom to lead. Especially when your time arrives. The problem we have is that sometimes we fight, but the time is not yet. So when the time arrives, you don't need to put much effort. You just need to do a little for you to achieve what you want. And at this moment, the time is arrived and the time is right. What is happening in the economy of Zimbabwe is deliberate from God, not from any person. God is doing these things deliberately because he wants to change things. He wants to use the people to say things. Nobody has power to control how economies function. And God is given grace to a new leadership. And that leadership is probably not what he has and what is around what he has. This is new leadership. Who is going to come and begin from a new page? We don't want somebody who is going to come and begin some unnecessary issues or wars, in-house wars. The reason why mukuru threatened kuti munhu wese akaneta akabanga adzose pakarishayiwa akadzosa is because unenge uchizikanirwa mafaira ako. When they know your files, you cannot do anything to them. So and if God allowed King David to start a war and blessed him, what about us? Tiri kuda puti much to make ZANU PF, tatopedza masport. You don't have democracy. You know what, Roland Magusho? What happened on that issue of King David? You need to understand it very well. King David was not fighting with King Saul. You have to take it correctly. Sometimes you need to read scriptures with wisdom. King David didn't fight King Saul. He was running away from King Saul, waiting for his time. King David understood the importance of time and season. So you can actually see that at a certain point, King David went into the tent of King Saul, and he took bvumo neguchu remvura ndokuenda pagomo ndokudaidzira ndokuti ko tiudzei kuti guchu ramambo nebvumo ravo zviri kupi. Why did he not kill King Saul? He knew very well that he didn't, he was not supposed to fight. He knew very well that what he was supposed to do was to run, only waiting for his time. And this is what Advocate Nelson Chamisa is doing. He's just doing it about his business, waiting for the day for his inauguration. And that inauguration day, nobody is going to postpone that day because of Panama. So this moment that the reason why we are coming out is to make sure that we keep the nation of Zimbabwe focused on important matters. What is important right now is voter registration, not killing on Pangaput. Futi yakatokosha izvezvi zvekuti voter registration state yako. Ndochete chauri kuda. Ndochete chauri kuda iwewe. Vozi vanhu vachati heze chinobirira heze chinoita sei, but remember kuti kuma polling stations kwedu kwatinge tiri vanhu vanotoriko vanoshandira kuzeki hama dzedu vari kutotamburawo vane nhamo yakangofanana neyedu. They also want change. So that is our advantage. Let's use that advantage. Let's take advantage of our relatives to make sure that you should know in an election from polling station ngatiwinei in election ikoko. Tikangodaro chete tapedza ma-elections ma-results paanozosvika kutop, kansela wega wega ane ma-results ake, MP wega wega ane ma-results ake, apresident akansela na-MP une ese ma-results ako. Patinondosvika kutop, vana Priscilla Chigumba hapana zvavachachinja, hapana zvavachaita, because isusu pasi tinenge taita royal, tinenge taita zvatinofanira kuita. So okay, and it's obvious they could try to rig, especially where people do not register and vote. Not voting gives the regime a leeway to play around those gaps. Yes, that's true. Just go to Zambia. Hakainde Hichilema defeated Edgar Lungu by more than 1 million votes. More than 1 million votes. Just see the gap. In Zimbabwe, we need twice that gap, and we can do it. Because the economy of Zambia was better than the economy of Zimbabwe at this moment. By then, Zambian economy was better than our economy at this moment. So what is stopping us from having a 2 million gap? We can have a 2 to 3 million gap. 2 to 3 million. Zambia ikadarika 1.5 million vanenge vamira vanenge vatoshanda. So Team Zimbabwe, kana nguva yaMwari yasvika, let's register to vote. That is what we need to do. And let's go and do our part. Let's go and vote. And 2023 is going to be a game changer. 2023 is going to be a different year. Change is coming to Zimbabwe. Let's position ourselves for prosperity. Let's position ourselves for success. Let's put in place mechanisms to make sure that when a new Zimbabwe comes, you will be able to benefit and you will be able to make money from this economy. I love you all. Please hit the subscribe button before you leave here. Please turn on the notification bell before you leave here. Also, make sure that you have liked this video. Like, and like. Liking helps us because our video gets discovered by a lot of people. Please go to ABTN News. There is a platform here called the ABTN News. And there you have a subscriber. No kumbirao. If you go and subscribe that will be enough support for you. For us to continue without any problems. We need a lot of equipment, but for us to be able to buy that equipment, what we need to do is to support our platform so that we can raise enough money to buy that equipment so that we can have a proper studio setup. That is what we want, so that we correct, number one, the audio issue. A lot of people are complaining about our audio. We need to fix our audio. A lot of people are complaining about us not being able to go on Facebook at the same moment we are live here. We need to fix that. So for us to fix that, we need money. And where we get that money is from you. Just if you subscribe, you help us a lot. If you watch our videos, you help us a lot to raise money so that we can support ourselves without taking anything from you. So watching from our platform, support your initiative is very, very important and very enough. Go to ABTN News, ABTN News, and subscribe. If you see the videos of myself, go and subscribe. We need to reach 1,000 from that platform. So what you can do is you go there, you subscribe, you share the videos which are there, you like the videos which are there, you view the videos which are there. That is enough support. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for your support. Let's meet in other programs. I believe that late in the evening, around 8, I will come up with another program. From Zimbabwe. We have a lot of issues to cover. We have a very long journey towards 2023. I love you all. May God bless you and God increase you.